Hi everyone, welcome to 30-minute yoga on Thursday. Hopefully you're having a good day, and congratulations as we even start this class on carving out the next 30 minutes just for you. So it's great that you're making yourself a priority. So enjoy the class any way that you need to modify, please go ahead and do so. So if this is a class for you to stretch, then put more into your stretching. If this is for you to work on strength, then put more into those moves. If this is for relaxation, you are more than welcome to spend your class in Shavasana for the entire 30 minutes, in child's pose. Whatever you need out of this class, make sure that you focus in on that, and it doesn't have to be a whole encompassing practice of all of those things. You can focus on one and make that one your goal. So I've got a strap, I've got a yoga block, I've got my water. I'm not sure what props we're going to use, if any at all today, but I just have them close by. I will warn you, I usually have my cat in a nice room far away. He's around and wandering today, so he just might join us. So we're going to make our way into Shavasana. Very slowly come down, bringing your back, your shoulders, and the back of your head, resting on your mat, feeling the connection of the entire back body onto the floor. Isn't it wonderful as you land here, you can just kind of go, ah, and everything just kind of melts onto the floor. So hopefully you're getting that experience. If you're hanging on to tension in certain areas, then we're going to try and use our breathing to allow those areas to relax a bit more. Gradually get the entire body to say ah as it's melting into the floor here. So some of the areas we tend to carry our tension is the forehead, the jaw, the neck and shoulders, sometimes through the core, sometimes through the glutes. You can even find your fingers or your hands can be holding tension, and sometimes down the legs. So do a body scan as you start to focus on in and out breathing through the nose. So your first area of focus might be the chest and the abdomen rising and falling. And it's just an awareness. How does it feel? And then scanning from top of head all the way down to the bottom of your toes. And sometimes I might clench my hands and then extend and relax, just to help the relaxation or the sensation that I'm looking for. And we start to take longer breaths and deeper breaths. So a little more intention around them. Maybe they're becoming more audible. Your next inhale is through the nose, and then we hold slightly at the top. Open the mouth, exhale audibly. Doing that again, inhale through the nose. Little hold. Open the mouth and exhale. And again, inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Back to in and out through the nose at your pace. Relax the jaw. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. And if you're not quite ready to move yet, stay in this beginning Shavasana for a little bit longer. We're all going to move at our own pace. We're going to do moves we like, and we're going to maybe avoid or pass over those that we don't like. Rolling wrists and ankles. And then extending your arms above your head, pointing fingers and toes in opposite direction. Inhale deeply. And exhale as you bring those knees in and grab on over your shins and just do a little roll back side to side. Keeping that right knee in, extend your left leg, pull the toes of both feet towards your nose. Cover that bottom leg, or you can land it right on the mat. And lifting up head and shoulders, just engaging the core a little bit more. Bring that slowly back down, switch sides. So extending your right leg. Again, let's have those toes pulled in towards your nose. Option is to lift up head and shoulders and engage the core a little bit more. And you can do a few more switches side to side, or you can leave the head and shoulders up and do your switches here. Just a little bit more ab work. So we're not adding a lot of speed. Last time, let's bring both knees in and into a ball. Bring the head and shoulders down. We're going to roll over to one side and come on up into seated position. So I'm going to be at the side of my mat facing the camera. You could be at the top of your mat, it's okay. We're going to do seated cat-cow. So let's get nice and tall, shoulders back, nice straight spine. And then you can either use your hands on your inner part of your knee, or you can place them on the mat. And we're going to expand the chest and inhale, not arching the neck. I'm just taking a slight upward glance. Inhale with a cow. And now exhale, curve the spine, and maybe push out front with your arms into a cat. And then inhale again. So this time I'm going to leave my hands on my knees. This is a cow, open, inhale. And then take my hands in imaginary, pressing against a wall, or as though we were doing this on the floor, we would be pressing away from the floor, arching the back, exhale. Again, inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. And let's land those hands at our sides, tented fingers. I'm going to leave my right hand on the ground, extend up with my left arm, inhale. And then as I exhale, I lean over to the right, making sure my right arm has a bent elbow. It's supporting me so I don't lean too far. Opening the left side of my body. Bring it back up. Left hand goes down, reach up with your right hand, inhale. And exhale. So we bend that left arm a bit more as we come a little closer to the floor. Opening up the right side of the body. And bring it back. Taking right hand onto your left knee, and maybe moving your left hand back a little bit more, and rotating and looking over the left shoulder. Again, that back is nice and tall. Coming back to front. And now, right hand on the ground, Left hand on your right knee as we rotate and look over the right shoulder. And back to center. We're going to come on to hands and knees. So if you need to reposition on your mat, make your way there to table position, spreading the fingers nice and wide. Elbow creases pointing forward. And wrists are underneath your shoulders. And let's do one more. Cow and cat and table. And now with a flat back, we're just going to lift our knees and hover. Engage that core again. You're propped up on your toes. And now slowly bring it down. Ready to push into downward facing dog. And start to walk out your legs. So your chest is pressing in towards the mat. You're moving side to side, feeling the back of the legs start to wake up. And then we're going to just hold in the downward dog position. Maybe you're able to press a little closer now with the chest towards the floor. A few breaths here. Rolling up onto your toes, bend the knees, look forward, and walk or take a hop to the top of your mat. Flat back, inhale. Exhale down. Inhale all the way up. Forward fold. Flat back, inhale. Hands down, taking the left foot back and staying in a lunge position. Tenting your left hand, it's close to the inside of your right foot. And we're going to start to rotate our right shoulder, opening up our chest to the right side of the room, feeling the stretch through the glute on the right side of our body. And we can lift the arm up. So rotation with our lunge. Slowly come out of that. Move your hands apart a little bit again. Step forward. Inhale. Exhale. All the way up. Forward fold. Flat back. Hands down. Let's step back with the second side. Again, it's a nice long lunge. Keeping that right hand close to the inside of your left foot. Starting to open up and rotate the lunge and lifting your top hand up. Again, feeling the stretch through the glutes, this time the left side of your body. Slowly come out of that. Hands come down onto your mat. Let's move the foot back. And we're into our first plank. You can take your plank down onto your knees or hold in a higher plank as we slowly lower down the upper body. Flip your toes so you're onto the tops of your feet and come up into cobra position. So not too high yet. Flip those toes, pass through table or right into downward facing dog. And if you need to, walk it out again. And then come to stillness and get a press through your arms. And bend those knees slightly and lift the left leg up behind you, three-legged dog. Let's bring that knee into the chest and back up. And then left knee to left elbow. Inhale back up. Left knee to right elbow. And then we're going to extend the foot through the keyhole of our hands and our standing leg. You can stay here onto a side plank. That foot can rest on the ground, or you can leave it extended and hovering. And let's slowly bring it back, three-legged dog. And this time bring the knee in and step right through. That's a lot of work. Making your way up into crescent lunge. So we're up a little higher onto the ball of the foot, back leg, hips facing forward. Options for your arms. You can keep them at heart center. You can lift them up. Nice and tall and proud. Chest is open. Maybe you can feel that your breathing has increased with some of those plank moves. On your next inhale, moving that back foot so that it is parallel with the short edge of your mat. Moving into warrior two. So we have heel to arch alignment. Our front thigh is pressing towards the back of our mat. You look down, you can gaze and see the big toe of that front foot. Shoulders relaxed. Glutes are tucked. Flipping your front palm. Tilting back and exalting your warrior. Stretching the front side of your body. Back into warrior two. Now bring the knee back, but not quite straight. Pivoting from the hips, lean forward as though you're reaching for something. And now tip down. And your hand can land on your inside of your calf, or you can reach down towards the floor. And again, your top arm is reaching up. You can always go a little forward to try to extend the stretch. I find when I do that, my shoulder starts to push forward, and I want to focus on keeping my shoulder pulling back. Bringing it back up. And now let's go into a cartwheel back down. Bring the feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up. Swan dive down. Flat back. Hands down, stepping back. Higher low plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. You can do your push-ups if you'd like. Coming into upward facing dog, or keep it at cobra. It's your choice if we're doing that back bend or not. And then going into downward facing dog. Remembering at any time you can go into child's pose and take a rest or grab a drink. Extending the right leg up behind you, three-legged dog. Bring that knee into your nose. Inhale back up. Bring the right knee to the right elbow. Inhale back up. Right knee to left elbow. And then we start to turn our body and extend the leg. It can rest on the floor. It can lift. And we extend the arm. And ready to face the floor. Back into three-legged dog. A lot of strength work on that one. Bring the knee in and step forward in between your hands and make your way up into crescent lunge. Second side, rising up onto the ball of the foot, back leg. Hands at heart center, hands in cactus arms, or extending up, and you can choose to do a bit more of a backwards lean on this one if you're feeling that you've warmed up the spine enough. And again, as your breathing increased, coming back to neutral spine and going into warrior two. So back foot parallel with short edge of your mat. Relax those shoulders as we extend the arms front and back. Doing a check on your front thigh, it's pulling back, and you can see your front toe. And we've got a little tuck through the glutes. Flipping your front palm, leaning back, exalting your warrior. Coming back to warrior two. Slowly bring the knee back, but not quite straight. Hinge from the hips, reach forward, and then tip down. Again, your hand can rest on your shin, or you can reach right down towards the floor. If you feel that you're starting to lean forward in this stretch, then maybe ease up on how deep you're going so that you can still keep the shoulder pulling back. Coming back up. And now, cartwheel down, step forward, inhale, exhale. Inhale all the way up. Hands come to heart center. And bring the hands down by your side in mountain pose. And we're just going to do one standing balance. So we're going to do tree pose. If you don't like tree pose, you can stay in mountain pose. So I invite you right here to just do a little wiggle of your toes and a little rock side to side and maybe front and back on your feet to feel the connection on all corners, so to speak, of each foot. Stay standing on your left foot. Maybe just shift slightly your weight onto that foot as we pop up our right knee. And then open the knee to the right side. And you'll feel your hips expand, resting your right heel on the inside of your left ankle. Staying here for tree pose, and maybe once in a while, just lifting the toe up to get a little balance work. Next level, if you choose, the bottom of your right foot is on the inside of your left calf. A bit more balance work. Eyes are focused on one spot that's not moving. And if it's in your practice, you can bring the foot up and over the knee, pressing onto the inside of your left thigh. Hands can come to heart center in tree pose, or lifting your branches. Standing tall. Sometimes as we start to do balance challenges, we try to get smaller, and we really want to extend and get taller. Bring those hands to heart center, bring the knee to the front, and bring the foot down. Walking it out if you need to, ready to go second side. So again, plant that right foot, connect on all corners and edges, pop up the left knee, and then open. Feel the hips get a stretch. Resting left heel onto the inside of your right ankle, and then once in a while you can lift up the toe, or you can rest bottom of your foot on the inside of your calf, or you can pass over your knee. And if you're up here, you're pressing your foot and pressing your thigh. You're pressing them in together. Again, options for your hands. heart center, or branches growing, reaching tall. Taking in a few breaths in tree pose. And slowly bringing those hands to heart center, slowly bring the knee forward and down. And I'm going to make my way back to the top of my mat. One more inhale. Swan dive down. Flat back. Hands down, stepping back. Last flow. Again, we still have a choice of high or low plank. We have a choice. We can do push-ups or not. Slowly lower down. Maybe coming into upward facing dog. And let's put our knees down. Take them wider than your mat. And sit back in child's pose. Just for a few breaths and feel the back ribs opening. Your head can rest right on the mat, or it can rest on your hands or on your fists. And let's slowly bring our hips off of our heels. And we're going to bring our feet out in front. Make some adjustments if you need to through the cheeks so that you're on your sits bones and your toes are pointing towards your nose. Inhale nice and tall. Exhale and take a walk down your shins. And just hold and breathe. Trying not to round through the shoulders, so we still want to try and keep the chest open. And slowly come out. Bringing those feet so that the soles of your feet are touching. And this is cobbler's pose, so our knees, if you were starting with knees together, when your feet, your soles come together, your knees will fall out to either side. We sit up again nice and tall. And as we exhale, we lean forward. So everyone's going to have a different position with their feet when it comes to how close or how far they are in front. So we want to feel the stretch. We don't want to feel discomfort or pain. So it's great to challenge your body, but don't ask it to do something that it's not ready to do. Come out of that, inhale, and let's do one more. So again, hinging from the hips, trying to keep the chest open. Beautiful stretch for the inner thighs. And slowly come out. Bring those knees back in. Extending the legs. Getting ready to come down. Rolling all the way down. Again, feel the connection of the back, the shoulders, the back of the head to your mat. Bring one knee in and then the other. Hug in that little ball. Bring your hands in between your knees. And they land either on your shins, your ankles, or the outside of your feet. Happy baby. And your baby can be still, or it can be rolling side to side, which I always like to get that little massage in my lower back area. You can even pretend you're doing a little walk on the ceiling. So make your happy baby yours. Do what you need, as much or as little. And now release. Hug those knees in again. One more time with the head and the shoulders up in that little ball. and then slowly roll it down. Bringing the feet down, extending, and let your toes roll out to the outside of your mat. Your hands are a little wider than your mat. Going into final Shavasana. Taking the time to focus on your breathing again, in and out. And doing a second scan. If there's tension that you're hanging on to, maybe doing a flex and then a release in that area, or imagining that you're sending your breath there, allowing that area to expand and release. And maybe on this final Shavasana, what you want to focus on is the chest and the abdomen rising and falling. We know that the breath is going in and out, but this allows us to actually feel it. Maybe you're choosing to make that breath audible again. And as you exhale, still through the nose, maybe it's like you're trying to fog up a mirror. And taking those hands to your side, slowly starting to wiggle fingers and toes, and a slow roll through the wrists and ankles. Bringing those feet a little closer, bending the knees, and you're going to choose one side or the other. We're going to roll over, press up with your top arm, coming to seated position on your mat, keeping your eyes soft, bringing the hands to heart center. And just take a minute to reflect on what you accomplished in the last 30 minutes. So we don't think of 30 minutes as being a lot of time, but in that time, you focused on your breath. You may have challenged your body to get a little stronger. You may have stretched a little longer. You may have allowed yourself to rest and relax. And those are all wonderful things. So congratulations on making yourself a priority, and thank you for joining me. Namaste. Have a wonderful day, and don't wait until next week's class to make yourself a priority. Get down on your mat and do those stretches and strengthening moves and relaxation moves. They're all great for you. Thanks, everyone.